Hello, everybody. We would like to present to you the bass singer, one of the greatest bass singers that ever lived in our time in classic soul music, Mr. Willie "Sugar Bear" Ford.
Well,
How are
thank you.
How are you
fine,
today?
I'm blessed. Glad to be here.
It's great to finally have you guys on board.
Fantastic.
I want you to know that we get so many requests, for you as as a bass singer, and people are thrilled to hear your voice. You're one of the everybody's favorite dramatic. People love your rendition of Me and Mrs. Jones, and who are some of your influences musically or vocally?
Well, quite naturally, the Temptations. We had the fortunate availability of growing up in Motown in Detroit, Michigan, and as a matter of fact, I was managed by Smokey Robinson when I was in high school. His nephew and I sang together in a young group, and we used to do talent shows, and just grew up around that, and it just enhanced, it just grabbed a hold of me, and it's all I ever wanted to do in life. So it was like a dream that came true.
How do you feel about the travel? You've been traveling many years with the group. How do you feel about touring and compared to now to how it used to be years ago?
Well, it's changed now that we got about 35, 36 years under our belt. It's a little different and a little more difficult. I mean, we don't have the bodies that we used to have. But I love it, and we all love it. I can speak for the group to say that we all love it, because to be doing this for that many years, you got to love it.
That's right. Who arranges the harmony, the background vocals?
Well, we all have input, but basically Ron, LJ, Wenzel, everybody has input into doing the backgrounds. Michael Brock also.
Okay. So what do you see for the future this year?
Well, we have recently started doing a new CD. We also have some commitments for extensive tours coming up this year. We're working on a movie, a book. So it's a lot of things that we have in the fire, a lot of irons that we have in the fire to continue on. And we like to say thank you for all the support that we've been given down through the years, and hopefully that we can bring some more good listening music to the people of this area.
What would you say your strongest dramatic song, or your favorite dramatic song of all time? What would you say that would be?
Well, my favorite dramatic song is What You See Is What You Get. That was the first recording I did with the Dramatics back in 1971. And I used to have dreams of grandeur and just big dreams, and when it became a million seller, it just blew my mind, and from there on, it's been my favorite.
What are some of the favorite cities that you think the Dramatics are most popular?
Oh man, we have so many good cities in America: Chicago, Los Angeles, Atlanta, St. Louis, Cleveland, Ohio, Washington, D.C. The Dramatics have been known for their live shows. People really like to see us live because they feel like that we deliver what they get on record. And we just have that, we have that special thing about our live show. And it's been fortunate for us to have this in our lives, because we haven't really had a hit record, and wow, it's been a while. But the hits that we have had has withstood the test of time. We've had 36 top 10 hits, and we recorded maybe 2 albums a year for about 12 years straight. So we had a nice run. We have a very large catalog.
And who are some of the popular producers that Dramatics have worked with over the years?
Well, my favorite was Tony Hester, which did the What You See Is What You Get album, the Dramatic Experience album. Ron and LJ has produced, along with Wenzel Kelly, has produced some things. Mr. Don Davis, he has produced back in the early days.
And who discovered the Dramatics initially?
Well, who discovered the Dramatics?
First big break for the Dramatics, you think happened when?
The first big break for the Dramatics came back in 1968, when Don Davis and hooked the Dramatics up with Tony Hester, who wrote What You See Is What You Get and In the Rain. And I have to say that he was responsible for the Dramatics being put on the map.
And your first big tour that you guys went on out with, who was the group on tour with you? Or the various
James
groups?
Brown, we did the James Brown tour with the Stylistics. The Stylistics, I think they had out Stop, Look, and Listen, and we had out What You See Is What You Get. And we traveled with James Brown for about 18 months straight. And it was a great learning experience.
And if you had to name your 5 all-time bass singers, we asked LJ this, but with respect to bass singers, who would you say are your top 5 bass singers of all time?
5?
Aside from yourself.
Well, I would have to say Melvin Franklin with the Temptations. I would have to say Warren Harris. He was the bass singer for the Monitors out of Motown. I'd have to say Chuck Barksdale. And I have to say, his name is Skip. He's a legend.
See, when I hear your voice, you have a lot of Brooke Benton, and the Brooke Benton
Brooke
sound.
Benton
I hear
was
that tone a little
yeah,
bit
Brooke
sometimes.
Benton, but Brooke wasn't really a bass singer.
That's right.
Paul Robeson. Nah,
There's the answer.
He was the bass singer.
We knew it was coming sooner or later.
Yeah.
Paul Robeson.
Now he was the great bass singer.
Okay.
And all the people that I've named as some of my favorites, he was their idol.
I heard it back in the day. I heard the Dramatics had women all over the place, and they loved the ladies, and the girls were screaming and hollering. And is there any truth to that rumor?
Well, let me tell you something. The recordings that we made was it was love music.
Okay.
And we did have a great following of women, and we've had our share. But that was a long time ago.
Well, we won't tell nobody about that.
We don't have to tell
No,
nobody
we won't talk
about
about that.
But
That's
it's all good.
All right, but ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Sugar Bear Willie Ford, the best bass singer on the planet Earth.